Operation Epic finale. It's time to finish this regime off.
The U.S. is planning to cut off all electricity across Iran.
Start bombing the capital, start taking out their government buildings.
Issuing a security alert urging Americans to consider leaving the Middle East.
And cue the fire. I never thought Donald J. Trump would do this. And I'm actually hearing from my backdoor sources, which generally only falls on my birthday. I was thinking of going with the title, Get the F Out, which, again, backdoor. Breaking news. U.S. Israel preparing to bombard energy-related targets in Iran. Sources say, this is my intel that I'm getting, developing story, but I have a question for you. Isn't attacking civilian infrastructure, like their lights, their water, yes, I know they just attacked ours. Isn't that a war crime? But I guess at this point, who's counting? And who's going to come for us? Israel? Oh, China? Probably not. I think they got some skeletons in them closets or in mass graves. So here we go. Also, happy Saturday morning. This stuff never ends.
Tell CBS News that the U.S. and Israel are ready to launch what may be the harshest bombing campaign to date against Iran. The potential targets include power plants, refineries, and other infrastructure in Iran's energy sector. We're told the president has yet to give the final go-ahead order for strikes. He's threatened for weeks to attack Iranian bridges and power plants if Iran could not reach a deal with the U.S.
Morning, Kelly. This would certainly mark a dramatic escalation in the war and the return of Israeli forces to U.S. combat operations, all while the ceasefire remains stubbornly out of reach.
At Camp David on Friday, President Trump suggested Americans prepare for the war with Iran to continue until Iran is diminished.
They'll get a little stronger maybe now, but they'll get weaker, and then they peter out. They have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft. Doesn't mean they don't have any capability. They have some, but very little.
And on the prospect of a deal coming together,
I'm losing faith in them because they do lie and they do misrepresent.
but the president gave a rare defense of Iran after federal investigators announced they are looking into whether Iran was behind a coordinated cyber attack to target water systems.
Well, there you have it, breaking news. And if you want to know what it's going to be called, Epic Fury. That's actually a pretty good movie. As now U.S. embassies are urge citizens consider departing the Middle East. Maybe something really big is about to take place. I say don't sweat it. If you've made it this far, just keep going. So if you are doing the math on this, and when we attack the power grid, the electrical grid, how many people will it affect? Give or take? 93 million. How long will something like that take to rebuild? May Allah help them. Also coming in from a website I used to follow all the time 20 years ago. I don't know. You guys remember Drudge? Yeah, it was pretty right. And then it went so left propaganda. I was like, what? Did Drudge sell? More attacks. It is like lists. More attacks on Iran coming, developing. That was from CBS. American embassies prepare to depart. Boy, this sounds like my show. U.S. peers headed for a strategic defeat. Yeah, there you go, Drudge. So looking at Iran, that's that circle blob I just drew. It's so big. People have no idea. Even like Karg Island would be so difficult to take. We're like, oh, how? It's like, it's easy. Just go in. No, they're all ready. They have been waiting for this their entire lives. Well, that's the state of California. I could be off on my sizing. I usually am. I typically lie about size. Never met a man that doesn't. But also, hey, if you guys ever go to California, stay to the ocean. Not book a trip to California and go, like, let's visit Los Angeles. Kids run around and play. You will be very disappointed. Let's keep going. No more squirrels. Generals warn Pentagon lack forces to protect Israel. I'm sure they'll be okay. I guess ever since we've combined with Israel, we are now America Israel. Soon we will be called Amisrael. You also keep hearing Iran has nothing. They have no military. Iran has surrounded Saudi Arabia and threats are closing in. And coming in for more breaking news up to the second. Looks like this thing has been green-lighted since started talking. President Trump, green light strikes on Iran. Let's go. And quote, I kind of like Operation Epic Finale. I think I said he said, or someone would call it that. Economic fury for the ages. But why don't we listen in?
I don't want to argue with the president about naming conventions, but I kind of like Operation Epic Finale. It's time to finish this regime off. And it can't all be done by bombing. We can't bomb them out of power. But what we can do is create the conditions by destroying enough infrastructure and things they need to operate, and then applying, as I said, that epic squeeze where you've got the epic fury or the economic fury, and you do a land blockade and a sea blockade, because right now they're sneaking oil out of the country and selling it. So we need to stop all of those, debank them, seize their accounts, put every form of pressure on them to create conditions for a regime collapse.
I don't know if you caught this. I caught this. You're not allowed to say this, but the bombing campaigns are not working. Now we got to go in with Operation Squeeze. Want to know what, kids? That's not going to work either. You're going to have to go in boots on the ground. My apologies. Don't want it. I haven't wanted this whole thing from the beginning. What I would like to see is for us to look inside. Get our home together before we start attacking other homes. But you don't understand weapons of mass destruction. So I do understand Dave_420, but we have dealt with this our whole lives. I am trying to focus on are things like this. Why young and old men are leaving the labor force at record rates. 1 in 3 are outside the labor force. Never been ever seen before in the history of the United States. I mean, this alone should snap your head back. Here's another one. I'm going to give you a test question, and let's see how well you do. So hurry up and answer it. Maybe yell it. Tell your wife how smart you are. Wife, get in on this. Kids, I don't care. It's a PG channel, unless you can read in between the lines. Then maybe X. Median age of U.S. homebuyers hits new high. What is the median age? Go out, walk around. Ask your 16-year-old. Are you 20 now, and are you 30? Maybe 25? Maybe 35? Maybe 38? What's your number? Because I'm going to get rid of this in 3, 2, 1, 59 years old. 60 years old. You're like, we've reached retirement. We can now buy shelter. This is at a time that the world is breaking. We are looking at a recession, a global recession. Well, I haven't seen that in the news. Follow the money. We created a channel on that, a whole week working on that video. Hopefully, when I'm done here, I'll get editing, upload, and it'll be tomorrow morning. We have a dollar problem. Even though everyone will say the dollar is dead, this is Trump's plan to destroy the dollar, drain the swamp. Guys, dollar strong. But you just see what just happened? Sure. Look at the charts. The charts predicted what is happening, what will happen, and what will happen next. This at a time that the U.S. Treasury is now, we should not be getting involved with Japan and buying their currency. But here it is, we are intervening with the yen, which is now dropping, which will find support and then head higher. What you are seeing in the dollar, what you are seeing in the global monetary system, that is far more frightening than the current war. I'm not sure on this. I don't think anyone understands money at all, even politicians, Fed, not QE. Then why is it going up? But it is so simple. The Treasury creates bonds. Your bank buys those bonds. And if your bank doesn't buy them, the Treasury will buy them. If you're like, what? Yeah, and if the Treasury doesn't buy them, the banks don't buy them, the Fed will buy them. Every time they print one, you have to pay it back in your taxes. Oh, the frightening part is they're doing short-term at ridiculously high rates, which means if you thought the 40 trillion debt clock is bad now with interest, paying interest, it was like at 1%. Now what are the 5%? I tell you, we're cooked. It's like your credit card bill or your mortgage, your the taxes you pay will always go up, which shows you will never own your home, even if it's paid off. But anywho, moot point, and you're paying now $100,000 a year, and then on taxes, and then all of a sudden it goes to $200,000. Would you be able to survive? How about $300,000? How about $400,000? Well, imagine taking rates from 1% to 5%. This is just interest alone. Breaking news. Let me do a little pixies. 1.1 trillion now. Then it's going to be 2 trillion. This is just interest. I care about this. I don't care about this. He plans on fresh, and that's what they're calling him, fresh new attacks. What that's going to do, again, you know that debt clock, you know, the amount of money that you have to pay to finance this war, yeah, it's going up. And then Trump posts this. Look at yourselves, the vandalism that took place at the reflecting pool. Like, come on. I mean, is that what people want? I don't know. Look over here. Oh my gosh, they're taking box cutters to the, how about historic alert, like front page, Washington just sold euros to buy Japanese yen. The US is now acting as the Bank of Japan. It's kind of like when we went off the gold standard, very important, 1971. Watch all prices just balloon like hundreds of percent. It didn't even, it made front page, but like bottom corner. This is what should be front page. Becent is in panic mode. Instead of selling USD, the US sold euros. Then this article says to keep the war going. Nah, it's not that. Guys, it's all in the bond market, and it is complete carnage. Carnage. 5.5. Yeah. Want to see your interest payments go up a little bit? Watch that one. How was I able to predict this months ago? Well, you click the subscribe button. Right here, I said, this is the dollar. I'm sorry if this might be confusing, but you need to learn this. This on the dollar. The dollar is the juggernaut. Everyone has taken out dollar-denominated loans. Those have to be paid back. Now the dollar is stronger, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive now. And their currency is weaker. Like, wait, so you're saying now the currency I use is weaker, I can't pay for this dollar, the dollar's going up, and we're in trouble. How were you able to see that trouble? Right back there. I said, guys, this is a double bottom, even a triple bottom. If you're a bottom guy, which I am not, this should frighten you. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and squirrels, the dollar is now above the 200-day moving average. And as it popped out of the triple bottom moving average, up here comes down. Oh, but it fell. Nah, it's kind of bouncing off of it. Plus another double bottom. This is like a strip club. There is bottoms everywhere, followed by a rising wedge. I said, if you break that line, we are going, oh, hey, you broke it. Now, I don't know why, I don't know who, but I just know that this predicts them intervening. This rising wedge then shall break. It's going to get stuck at the 200. I added more. Might break lower because you measure it from here to here. And then, do you see the trajectory? It is this way. Every day I use the dollar to get in and out of bit. Look at this. I turned on like trade, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, and out. Digits go up. If you don't understand how to do this, take a darn course on it. This course is going to have things in it that no one has ever showed you before. It's not on the interwebs, and I'm not going to talk about it. I learned really fast. Stock market money glitch. A lot I show on the show, but a lot I do not. So it's $2.99, which is so much cheaper than $3.99. Yes, it will go up. What could you make every morning on clicking stupid lines? Well, I'll show you. I'll click on the NASDAQ. NQ1, go full chart. Uh-oh, heading lower. All of these patterns, rinse and repeat. Oh, look, double bottom. Did you just not learn about that? Oh, look, rising wedge. There, fell. Oh, look, let's zoom on. This was on Friday's open. Here it is. Got to run up right away into the Bravo zone where it says rejected. Let me turn off that indicator and turn on 2 for you so you can understand. You could have entered there. I actually entered there. We're in the zone. I got out. I made some money. I think I somehow lost some money. That's okay. That's how it works. Oh, and I just got interrupted by Kitty. Okay, where was I? So went short here. Let's see, under the 200, under the 20. And then here we go. And then it consolidates. Receipt, red, green, red, green, green, red, short here, right at that line. Boom. take it down more. Then you have the magical swing trade. That's where you could actually turn on my Bravo kit and you get one candle close above the 9. It's not a A+ setup. That one is. Also have confirmation here. It just keeps going, but I want you to take A+ setups. That's it. Even if you were to take it just from there to there, that's it. It starts to consolidate. I'm not even saying taking that one, just one of them. And this is probably 15 minutes of your day. That's all I'm asking. If you're trading one contract of NQ1, you made $3,820. If you don't like $3,820, then $382. So while the dollar destroys the world, just like I said it would, your debt continues to climb. Just like I said I would. I don't want to hear, well, Trump, the news, listen to me. These assets I'm holding in my hand right here, these are quarters. They're made of silver. See this one? This is gold. For the rest of your life, this will become unattainable. You're seeing it reflective in assets like a home, quasi asset. Complicated. I'd rather you purchase apartments, but you have to be 60 years old. And I said this, I'm like, you guys won't even be able to buy a car. McDonald's will become out of reach. What are you going to do to fix it? You're going to start a business. I had courses on it. You figure out your own. Worked for my 14-year-old high school kids making 10 grand a month, but we've moved past that. Clicking buttons on a screen, go wash windows. I don't care what you do. You're in your industry that you can solve a problem, and I get emails all the time. Actually, this is an email I just got. I won't read it. I went to Lake Como. Make your digits go up. Go visit Lake Como. Your wife will appreciate it. He messaged me and said, I wanted you to be the first people to know. He got approved by his Italian government and a grant to start his business. He said when I told him, he thought it was a joke. I gave him a date. And I said, April 2029, I'm flying back out here and I am booking for $2,000. And we wrote it down, we spoke it into existence, and it will happen. Because I believed in him, then he believed in him. So I come here every single day. I believe in you. Please trust me that the things that I say on this channel work. I just need you to do it. With that, I love you. I will see you tomorrow.